welcome back to Pokemon Violet, the Nuzlocke, attempt number 2, part 3. Yeah, part 3. Last time we actually did some objectives. We beat a few of the gyms up and then we started trying to get some of the other Pokemon potentially we could get in some of the areas. So, you know, I'm still sad that I've only got one successful Nuzlocke so far. I really am actually, I have a level of annoyance over that actually. And the fact that some of it actually wasn't even my fault is not fun. Because obviously, yes, this is the first attempt. How that ended. And of course, there's the Sword Nuzlocke. We made it to the end of the game. That's good. Whether we succeed or not, I'll let that for you to go and watch. The trials and tribulations that was Generation 8. Though after this stream, obviously. And of course, the Fire Red one, well, Leaf Green one. That one ended, A, because of a fuck up on my end that took me back several hours, and then B, of course, the whole computer issue stuff that occurred. So, yeah, right, okay. First things first we should do is we should look on the map and go, ooh, Pterodens, ooh, outbreaks. We can't really... Now, here's the thing. We could use outbreaks to cheese getting more shinies to cheese having more Pokemon. We could. We're not doing that. No, we won't do that. That's why I'm actively going to avoid that. Now, the thing is, in terms of our objectives, in terms of all this, the current one that we haven't done yet that we're more of level 4 is Cloth, which means we've headed the wrong way. Subformers area 4, we did have a slight mishap with a Mudbray, so by all accounts, it's not been long enough where we can be all like, I forgot, what did we do? But no, I, in a state of not too happiness, did flee from a Mudbray that was spamming strength. Like, I was not doing that shit. So, Subformers area 4, we've gone and made a dud out of it. So, yeah, this is all gone. But we can utilise Pterodens to, you know, harvest some XP stuff if we consider it. So, like this, like, water one here. So, like, if I teleport over to Cortondo quickly and took a look at some of these water ones, they may be Pokemon that Floragato can easily deal with anyway. Even if, say, they're not really. It depends really on the Pokemon. If it's a fire-type Pokemon or a flying-type Pokemon, but it just sounds to be Telewater, no. No. And even then, maybe we'll use Pawmi instead. You never know. But this is a way for us to grind resources. Like, yeah, see, this is a Wookity. Meaning, well, Floragato isn't the best option, actually, when it comes to dealing with that Pterodon. It'd be Pawmi. Or Pawmo if we evolved it. Sadly we haven't. Because at least Electric still deals with water typing and doesn't suffer from any flying maneuvers that it may or may not have. In fact, so that's annoying though. I wish there was probably a better way to do this in some way, shape or form, you know. You know what, I think if Pawmi was evolved, I'd happily go head first into it. I just don't trust its defense stat for a tearaway battle. Right now. The thumbnail today is me making fun of the fact that I've got plenty of ground types, and obviously the worst drawn Floragato of all time. Ooh, that's a Dunsparce one. We can do that as Floragato. We'll do that. We won't catch it, but I'll get some XP resources. Just want to level up some of my Pokemon a little bit more. Then we'll go fight the Cloth. I think is probably the best idea. We've got a good leveled Floragato, so we should be fine on that front, you know. Now, obviously, me doing this, it's all there's a level of performance weakness to it, but the worst drawn Floragato of all time. To be fair, actually, it's probably still better than my attempt at drawing Guahatio in Final Fantasy XIV. And I'm surprised I haven't had Final Fantasy XIV fans go, what the fuck did you do to our boy? How dare you, how dare you, how dare you? Like, go look at the thumbnails and you can clearly see. The first one is the actual attempt. The second one is just me downloading an image from good old Google Images and making a joke out of it, using a picture of it to try and do the whole body image, just pointing at I see. Oh fuck, Fallout did that much. Do we count faints in the shower dance? Because there's no way I can heal. I can't heal, I can't... Oh, well that's really good. No, it didn't. What the... Why did he do so much on the first one then? Heal up. Let's chill. We shall clap our hands. I forgot the lyrics. Anyone who knows what that is? Congratulations. So, why did the first one do so much when it's not even a fucking critical hit? What happened? Like, legit. See, now that makes more sense. Did it, like, hit me once and I didn't realise? We should get the kill. Thankfully, we have good ally Pokemon. Shit. I don't get why Thunderbolt is doing worse. Boyo did it! Hooray! And unfortunately, if that random NPC trainer happens to be doing Nuzlocke, that Kelly is dead. And we do catch it because we also on this route this round. This bit is where we caught... What's Sandy Cast? We caught something. We caught something in this area. Might have been Fletchling. Hang on, we have the tracker. Why am I not just going there? Yeah, no, it was Fletchling. We caught Fletchling here. So, yeah. That gets us some resources nonetheless, which is lovely stuff. Maybe even a good move. I'm not saying a good move. Did it not give me a good... maybe give me Poison Tail. Did it not give me a good move? Shit. But yeah, it gave me some XP candies, which is actually what I did want. I'm saving the rare candies for the time being. I want Pour Me to Evolve. I also get Dig. I will happily take Dig. And I'm not actually going to want Nuzzle. Nuzzle, I might as well just do that. You know, Nuzzle's decent in like the earliest of early level. You know what? We'll use a rare candy. It's a level away from evolving, for fuck's sake. There we go. It's now evolving. Hooray! Our Pour Me finally can evolve into Pormo. I'm now going to have to figure out how the fuck I'm doing the how to calculate how many steps we take when it comes to it being with us in the Let's Go mode. But yes, electric fighting. It's now gained the power of fighting, so we have backup in the event of Cloth killing our starter. And also it gets armed first. It's not the best maneuver. To be fair, it really will take out charge. We don't need charge. It really isn't the best fighting type maneuver, but we'll take it. It is fighting after all. So let us head somewhere sensible where we're not going to get murdered by a Pokemon. In fact, actually, you know what? The Pokemon around here probably won't kill us, but you know, just somewhere where we can do a whole bunch of steps in Let's Go mode while I yap about various things. Oh, by the way, for the record, you can tell with the curtains. There's definitely an airflow today, which is good. That's good. I'm not going to die immediately. Sad news, I ran out of orange juice. I should have prepared better on that one. But that's on me. I admit I take full responsibility for my own stupidity. So the way that but I do have a cookie at the moment, and I might disappear to make a new one. That, and I've kind of got my room door open, so I suddenly hear shouting from anyone that happens to live with me, being like, "Ah, keep the noise down, why is it so much louder than usual, blah, 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 blah." 20 to 11? Oh, they should be up. People should be up at this point. Then again, it is a Saturday. Maybe, maybe not, you know? Then you'll know why. Anyway, that's our cat. Behold, the Let's Go mode. It allows us to run around with our Pokemon. Hooray! It's lovely, isn't it? It's like it's got a grass yo-yo. That's kind of cool. No, I'm not cheating on Fuecoco, but like, I gotta say, they did a good job with the grass style, I gotta say. You know what, then again, maybe I'm being sold because I have actually watched parts of Horizons, and let's face it, when the anime has a Pokemon be used, it does help. It really does. I'm sure there are people who only really cared about Pokemon because Ash had it in the anime, you know? But anyway, what we need to do is we need to make it our lead. Okay, that's not the best I can ever, but then bring it out. And I don't remember if it's our steps or its steps. So we just got to do this until we're sure we've done 1,000 steps. So, yeah, this. And then we have to level it up. I don't know why they did this. Okay, no, I do know why. They wanted you to have a reason to do this whole walkabout stuff. Fair enough. Fair enough. You can do that with a Pokemon. Sure. They did it with 3. They did it with this Pokemon. They did it with Bramblecast. And they did it with Velor. So, you know, fun, fun, fun. If you're trying to get the Pokédex completed, you have to do this 3 fucking times. Maybe we'll stand in an area that's not going to keep putting us into Cortondo. But we have to keep doing this in a way so that it doesn't go back into our ball. So, yeah, this is fun, isn't it? So, anyway, I may or may not have watched a video from a PokeTuber where they're like, what if they were the gym leader in each region? And I'm like, I could do this better. Note, I can't do the video itself better. Trust me, that I'm not skilled at editing in the slightest. There's a reason why the original attempt of Quartzless never came out. That, and I'm sure I'd need an editor for the script that I did try to write. Cause yeah, it wasn't that good. Come, Pomo, adventure awaits us. This train's all like, oh, happy day! I guess happy days are here again. Nice. Well, now that I've referenced those AEW cocksuckers, you know what? I'm surprised. You know what? I'm actually surprised. I honestly believe that it's because of just how small of a channel I am that I haven't gotten various insults from bronies, various other furries, AEW fans, which there's definitely less furries involved with that one. I think the Scalies are busy hyping up an Iguana puppet for AAA and WWE. It's like, you know what? You know what? Undercard gimmicks that get over and all it does is push merch. I'm not going to complain too heavily about it. Just don't start making them main offenders. And things will be peachy. But no, back to what I was saying, because we went off topic there a little bit. I was trying to come up with some ideas. Like, what other sort of gym leaders could you theoretically have for, like, each region? Not necessarily just, like, oh, I'm gonna roleplay as a character that would be in the region kind of thing. But at the same time, you know, I've actually got notes written down on a notepad. Quite literally, a notebook. Pokepad just over 200 pages. It's where I've got some D&D ideas in. And so far, I came up with up to Galar skipping Alola. So I haven't come up with Paldea, nor Alola. Because Alola works differently. Because at the end of the day, there's your kahunas. And that's going to be dependent more on what the kahunas are choosing to do as their specialties. What the trial captains happen to be doing in terms of which stuff that they use. So that really becomes more of an issue on that front. So there's more of a question to be stated about that. But I figured something like, take Gen 1, Kanto, a bug gym leader. Now how would that go? Well, there's actually only like 6 anyway. So you get, your options are Butterfree, Beedrill, Venomoth, Pinsir, Cypher. That's it really. That is it. Now, in terms of a bug gym leader, well, early enough, and even the basic forms of Butterfree and Beedrill may be used instead of the actual fully evolved versions, but then again, it'd be a nice lesson to be like, yeah, there are Pokemon that evolve at a real low level. That does give them a benefit to maybe being used in the early game. You know? Something, logic like that. You know? Sensible logic. And personally, if I was to be a bug gym leader in Kanto, my ace would be Parasect. And 4 times weak to fire. And flying. Certainly doesn't help it, but it can have a nice moveset of Spore. Yeah, that's it really. Spore's the idea of it. Basically being able to put your Pokemon to sleep. And remember, in Gen 1 mechanics, the turn you wake up, you still don't get a turn. That is brutal, and Parasect's the only Pokemon in Kanto to have this move outside of Mimic or Mirror Move, that sort of thing. Moves that allow you to take moves, or Ditto using Transform. So that gives it a leg up in a way, a guaranteed way to put Pokemon to sleep for the most part. That's really good. Otherwise, moveset-wise, Leech Leaf is its best bug move in Gen 1, which is very unfortunate, because Leech Life. Leech Life is horrible in Gen 1. It's horrible until Gen 7. You can tell that that's when the change happened, because Zubats gain Absorb instead of having Leech Life at an earlier level, because they don't want Zubat being strong all of a sudden. Grumble moan. But it does get Slash. As a strong physical move, that has a bad chance of quitting, which helps alleviate the fact that in Gen 1 its slow speed means it's probably not quitting often. Other than that, I would just give it Leech Life because that's the best it gets, and a Mimic. The idea of it mimicking a move, that's kind of a fun idea. But, you know, in the remakes, it doesn't get Mimic. So, Attract. The spores of the mushroom, attracting a Pokemon to be allured to it. Immobilization occurring, not necessarily through sleep, but through inaction due to hallucinogenics that can come from fungal spores. I don't know why, but I've sold myself on Parasect. Like, I am not liking its typing and its low speed stat, but you know, I actively think that it's not a bad idea. It being my ace would be a fun idea. I don't know why, but I feel like some kind of trickster gimmick could occur. Because, well, our other options lead to it. So, like, with Butterfree, it gets Supersonic, it gets Stun Spore. That's Power Fused. That could be quite annoying. Otherwise, it gets Dust. That's its stab move in Gen 1. But Generation 3, it does get Silverwind as a stab bug move. And it also gets Psybeam. Like if you really want to use a Psychic type move, and you haven't found a Psychic type yet, Butterfree is there. It's not the best option, but will keep you going for the early game until you can get your hands on an Abworm, or Drowsy, or Mr. Mime from trade. So, you know. Beedrill, unfortunately, really suffers because it's like Twin Needle, Pin Missile. We can give it Reflect though. So, you know, that just means, oh, suddenly your physical attacks ain't doing as much. Bug has a weakness to flying, which is physical in Gen 1. Tends to have a good number of physical moves, also a number of special maneuvers come Gen 4 onwards, but before that, it would be physical. So, it counteracts that approach. That's my logic. If we were to go with 5 Pokemon, say it's late game, then Venomoth and Pinsir out of the 2, because Cypher, it's got its spotlight already in real life, thanks to Bugsy. But Venomoth is just a simple Pokemon, really. You can give it things like Substitute, again, Leech Life, and then later Silverwind in Gen 3, Psychic, Substitute, Razorwind. Razorwind is a decent idea, but you don't get Razorwind in Gen 3, sadly. So you could maybe give it Poison Stab with something like Sludge Bomb. If it's late game, a high power poison move like that, well, that's fine. With Pinsir, it gets Slash, it gets Sword Stance, it gets Body Slam, like some real good stuff. a lot of these move west even, if you want to heal it, like being a cheeky bugger. But it loses out on a load of this in Gen 3, so Revenge over Slash, because it doesn't get Slash anymore, at least through level up or TM. Keeps having Sword Stance anyway. Thief, the Trickster idea, it steals an item. There's a special maneuver, however, so a little bit. And Dig, to really just mean that you can't hit as often as you would like to. That's my line of thinking with like a bug gym leader in Kanto, and not just poison specialist that happens to, in some versions, use just Venomats and Venomoths, and in others actually has a proper poison team. That's just my line of thinking. Whereas in Johto, I've gone for the idea of an archaeologist. So Aerodactyl, Kabutops, Omnistar, sure, 2 water rocks, but you could counteract that in some way. You could have coverage against Pokemon that deal good to damage to water. You could theoretically have them based in Cianwood, because there's a bunch of rocks you can break with Rock Smash. Archaeologists regularly break rocks to find fossils. Maybe excavation digs are required, so something like a Rhydon as an additional one, because rock. See, I thought these things out. And of course, I love the idea of just an Ace Shuckle. Just being like, okay, you've dealt with all the hard hitters, you've dealt with the fast attackers, you've dealt with an Aerodactyl that just happens to be an Aerodactyl. Obviously in Gen 4, it would have Rock Head, so suddenly that takedown is a lot more dangerous just because it's not taking recoil. And then it's just, Shuckle, really? Shuckle? And it's like, yeah, Shuckle. Toxic, West, Encore, like, it has as like a decent moveset there. Snore in Gen 2, so it can still deal damage while it's asleep using West, utilizing its bulk. I would love it if, say, the health stat was better. It would make the strategy a lot more consistent, I'll tell you that much. But don't get Snore in Gen 4, so in like the event of Heart Gold Soul Silver, maybe something like Bug Bite, a simple bug stab move that obviously won't deal much damage, but does punish you for trying to have a Barry involved. You know? How do I tell if it's been 1,000 steps? Well, we'll keep talking then. Hoenn, I've thought of Poison with a Swallow Ace. Really just take any poison types and go with that idea. Sinnoh's a painful one because of the Sinnoh decks being not the best. I feel like Flying wouldn't be a bad shout, but some overlap with the Elite Four trainers will occur with like Drifblim and Togekiss, that sort of thing. That just will occur. But I mean, Flying's not a bad idea because it means you can auto start Star Raptor with Intimidate, and it hits hard, hits fast, has Endeavor, so if it's low on health, it can utilize that speed to get like one last like, haha, now your Pokemon's really low on health as well. Blech. And dies. Unova, I'm still trying to figure out fully, but the idea of Still, no, not Still, the idea of Psychic, I read Still, which is weird. I think I had that in my head. But don't worry, there is a Still type. I think Bronzong wouldn't be a bad idea. Like if you're using the black 2, white 2 decks, Bronzong wouldn't be a bad shout. Obviously, if it's pure black and white, then you can sub that out for Gothitelle and whatnot. But, you know, Ranunculus Ace wouldn't be a bad idea. Kalos is painful, so it's like, I'm thinking normal isn't a bad idea. Just like, under the idea of just underestimating what normal types are capable of. Alola, we've not got Millennium down. I've written Galar, and it's like, I'm trying to come up with ideas, but it's like, I think I've ended up in a Still direction with Corviknight as an ace, which then overlaps a little bit with the flying factor that Sinnoh would have, but I don't know, it starts falling apart because it's just, it's a lot harder than it looks. Like at the end of the day, because I'm not thinking of like, well, what if it was like the first gym? Obviously that would mean like, you'd have to have Pokemon of said type that would be in for battle at that point. It's like the air has decided to be sucked out and it takes the curtains with it. Okay, we've walked over to Thingy and back to Contondo. We have rare candies. Let's take a look. Have we walked 1,000 steps yet? Wants to learn bite. I mean, sure, you can have bite over quick attack. Why not? Don't need the priority, I guess. Coverage is not a bad thing. We did it! We definitely walked 1,000 steps! My yapping has paid off! Hurrah! I am not... If we end up encountering Bamble Castle Well, I am not doing this again! Ah, pain! Misery! But hey, we now have Pormont. Doesn't really all look too different from Ormo, to be honest. And it wants to learn Revival Blessing. Now, Revival Blessing bestows a loving blessing, reviving a party Pokemon that has fainted and restoring half of that Pokemon's max health. Not a bad move, actually, to be fair. I think this gets probably bonked in competitive play because, wait, you just gained one of your painful Pokemon back? Oh no. But obviously, we're not going to learn it. The reason being is that faint equals death. Can't really revive the dead. Reviving someone from fainting, that's fine. I think Revival Blessing, let's use D&D logic. If you're incapacitated, you've gone on to 0 health, you're incapacitated, you're bleeding out on the ground, someone resuscitating you is similar to reviving you, CPR, that sort of thing. Whereas bringing someone back from the dead tends to involve either rituals, spells, acts of God. Random ass accessory that artifact thing that grants the power to resurrect life, that sort of thing. So it's not like I'm going to say that it's a bad move, but for the purposes of this one, I'm going to say that it probably would be cheating. But now that it is Pormont, do we have access to anything else? Ooh, we do. We get access to Wild Charge, a 90 base power electric type maneuver. Oh, does recoil. But we are a physical attacker. I'll take it over Thunder Shock, and if we happen to get a better electric maneuver that doesn't cause recoil and is physical, then we'll take it. We'll even take a better fighting type move as well, actually, to be honest. But yeah. Also, I feel like... yeah, you know what? We're special attack down. Magical Leaf is shite. It will be shite. So now, look, it's bigger. Look at them. Actually, you know what? They look a little kind of cute. Actually, it's like the tuft of hair. It's like with Male Eevee, like that sort of thing. That's just like it's got something to it that just makes it go. You know what? There's something to it. I can see why this would be something someone would enjoy. So yeah, if I actually look at the Pokédex, we can see. Let me go far. The evolution. Poor Me's are like that. Poor Mo is like that. It stood up and it's become a slightly lighter shade of orange, and then it does look okay. So the picture for Pormont actually is more in line with actually showing how the evolution looks. It looks like it's gained some of the orange back, and you know what? Yeah, it actually does look like it has had some amount of. It's bulked up, and its hair's grown a bit. It's gotten older, and that's fine. That's fine. You know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. Right. Okay. What areas could we go to that we haven't been to that get encounters? Well, everyone here. Technically speaking, other than Cloth, like the next thing possibly would be Dark. Trouble is do we really have what it takes to fight the Dark stuff? I don't know. Point being though, we'll go to the Claw fight now. We have Florigato in a decent state. We'll make sure our team is definitely 100% healed, just so that it's that none of them are like hindered in any way, shape or form. Leafage may not be the best grass type move, but actually, hang on, can we teach it Trailblaze? I'm going to check, because if we can, then it will be better. It'll be an improvement. This is more me needing to... yeah, we can. We can teach it Trailblaze. That will be better, and it will also boost speed. Fuck it. We'll have that over Leafage. It'll be stronger. It's not going to be the strongest move we could possibly have overall power-wise, but for physical attacks, definitely will be better. Otherwise, sadly, we can't learn some of these moves on some of these Pokemon. That's a shame. You can learn Kaiser Terrain, but unless I'm doing a Double Barrel, not really the best option. Right, okay. Right, Cloth is Rock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the smart thing and box Fletch Tinder and get experience for our Diglett. This is because I do want to do the Team Star Fire base at some point in the future with all our lovely ground types. Those are any Pawniards that we happen to encounter in the event of us taking on the Team Star Dark base will suffer as well. So yeah, off we go to fight the... Actually, you know what? Frogger should be probably up front. Off we go to fight the Cloth. And Jellos actually isn't a bad shout either to use for it because it's water typing. Will help it out quite well actually. To be fair, you can actually go do this fight quite early on with Floragato and Respirito and Quaxley due to their water and grass typings being much preferable against the rock type. Unlike what I usually do where I pick for Coco and then scream obscenities when fire is not good. That's on me obviously and not on the Pokemon itself. That I just need to remember to be smarter. Anyways. Hello, Giant Cloth. I am here to relinquish your... You bitch. You. I've never actually stood still and watched that animation. That's funny. It does what a crab does best when it's on a wall and crawls on upwards. Damn it. Didn't even need to use a rope. Inconceivable. Lovely cup of tea as we face off. We could use Home Claws maybe a little bit to get attack boost. We'll go for a Trailblaze first, see how much damage we do. Ooh, lovely damage. And we got the speed boost, so we're guaranteed to be going first automatically. Vice Grip is decent damage. Not the most defensive Pokemon. It will heal after this fight though, because it will fuck off after enough damage. But Anger Shell does help it attack stats and speed. So Trailblaze does counteract that fight. It's in red, so either it's gonna fuck off now or no, use block. Oh, I guess we're not going to be switching out. Oh wells. Do a quick attack. That will not be very effective. So yes, our first part of the fight with the Cloth is dealt with. However, for the second part of the Cloth fight, we will have Arvin at our side to help us out with a Pokemon that hopefully is decent enough against the Cloth. I forget what he uses. Is this the one where he uses Shelter? Because water's good on rock. Point being though, we have a lot of Pokemon, but at the end of the day, it's the Cloth. It will still utilise Vice Grip and Block. However, it also has Rock Tomb to lower our speed and Rock Smash to lower our defense, potentially. So, you know, also it's eating a thing. So you know, lovely stuff and all that. But hey, you know, we're going to hang out with Arvin now. Hooray! But we are now fighting a stronger Cloth. How much stronger? Don't know. But at the end of the day, it is a Cloth, and it, yeah. But we are going to terrorize now that we are fighting it properly. And Arvin is definitely saying words that I don't think really matters too much. Gameplay mechanic, allow me to win! I terrorize you, Floragato! Oh my god, Mr. Gato. Why do I have that in my head when I say Floyd Gatto? I've never liked sticks. Ah! Well, while my brain slowly shoots itself, annoyingly, we do get the benefit of water gun from the thing there. That's actually... it's going to get angry shell. And it's faster than the shelter, which is a little annoying, but hey, we might go for block, for all I know. So... and we do actually have to kill it now, so... our speed's doubled, so... up, so angry shell shouldn't be too bad. As anyone who gives a shit about actually listening to songs, I don't know. Ooh, yay! See, this is one thing that's good about the Titan fights once Arvin's involved. First of all, he can take the kill, you get. But secondly, it means that the enemy can attack him instead, and we get to feel like, haha, we survived these! A lot more so, and so cool. It's trying to be so cool. Look at it go. But yes, we've done it. The Korth is beaten. We didn't need the poor mode at all. But hey, it's nice having a poor mode, because it means that anything that is going to be good against, say, a flying type, Bombardier is next on our list, supposedly. But we may forego it for a second, and consider maybe Giacomo. We may even head into Kitakami soon. Pardon me. Now you might be saying, Chris, don't do that. That's what you did last time. That's a bad idea. And it's like, calm down, people. Calm down. I should be calm. I'm gonna look up the Kitakami stuff again. Kitakami. In terms of the storyline, just so that I can remember, just so that we can remember exactly what we have to deal with if we did say go there. See, this is the thing. I'm surprised my team got wrecked by this. Level 12 Pucciana, Vulpix, and level 13 Poltergeist. Maybe it's just because Poltergeist has that grass ghost typiness to it. You know? Maybe I got unlucky. I need to rewatch it, see what happened. But, yeah, they're only level 12. And then the fight in Mosri Town after that's level 12 as well. We're higher level. And will remain slightly higher level, although the Kitakami Hall fight, not Kitakami Hall fight, the first one you do in the Treasure Den against Kieran, not the second one. Like, if we go with what we've got, theoretically speaking, we should be fine up to before we go to the Paradise Balance War fight, because that's higher level. And also we'd have to deal with a dribbling, like, I'm not prepared for that. Like, going through all the things, like, the thing is, the highest level fighting level-wise we have to deal with is the level 38 Poliwrath. And then Okapon's level 20, but you go through all the stages of fire, water, rock, and then just pure grass, alongside the grass typing throughout the whole thing. And of course, the Titan Pokemon being still quite vicious, actually, at level 35. So, ideally we need to be in the mid-game before we really do everything we can to Kitakami. But we can still access Kitakami. We can still access it. We just have to be a lot more cautious than we were previously. And sadly for us, on the tracker, if you were to look at it through the tracker, it's not there at all. It quite literally just isn't there. It's just the Mesagoza fights at the end of the it's just the fights at the end of the story. So you Arvin at the lighthouse, Clive and Clavel and Penny at the end of the Team Star stuff, and Nimona at the end of the Victory Road stuff, because that's the actual final fight. Where all their Pokemon are like over level 60. Like, we have to make our Pokemon be strong enough to end the storylines. That's gonna be painful. That is gonna be really, really painful, I feel. Anyway, we've been kind of just yapping while the storyline carries on with Arvin, and yeah, obviously Miraidon wants our sandwich and we just give it to him. It's fine, we can starve. How do we eat? know, Mysticas are neat as it does give us abilities, like the ability to dash. We can now go faster. Hooray! Alvin is super obvious about his stuff, but to be fair, you know, to be fair, poor Alvin, he's just trying to heal his boy. And you know, that's fine, you know? And Alvin is our boy. He is the boyiest of the boys. Partly because if you happen to choose to be a female Pokemon trainer, he's the only boy. So you could arguably... And then you can headcanon him as gay and you can do the whole girls and the gays. If you desire to, of course. But that's headcanons. We don't think about Pokemon trainers' sexualities here, because that starts going down a very dark corner when a lot of them are children. Oh, very, very much so children. Now the adults, on the other hand, oh, you know, it's times like that that just makes me think, you know, I understand why there are people on the internet that really, really do love to lust over certain characters in some forms of media. Because let's face it, the only way you could have anything enter your head or drawn onto a piece of paper and posted onto DeviantArt is through fantasy. Fantasizing it. So, you know. Anyway, we can dash now! Turbo Jets, activate! Whee! Truly, our dragon bike is super cool. Hooah! Ah, Magahita! We're in an area where we've already encountered Pokemon, so no Magahita for us. We'll beat it up, I guess, with Trailblaze. This 2D Trailblaze. That's what it's like. And I think that's the thing. I think when it's harmless stuff with adult characters, really getting all up in a fuss about it is just not worth it. I don't need to know about people's fantasies about Princess Celestia. Fucking furries that they are. What I don't need to know is about the next time a middle-aged man, when the show came out, being accused of grooming a minor throughout several years. That's not fun. It's never fun. It never will be fun. The only fun you could find in it is being a drama channel and being like, haha, look, I can do an expose on a person! Hurrah! You know, which, that's still kind of shitty in a way. You know. So anyway, driving along this way leads us towards the Team Star Fire Base. However, those Pokemon end up being nearer to level 30. I'm not joking, that's actually painful. So we can mosey on towards the Vincia. We already did hop over the river, but hey, you know, it's not gonna fight it. Yeah, but I'm not really gonna fight it because it is water. But yeah, now the beach way is one way, but the other way that you could go is by doing that leap here. Hurrah! Hello, Spider. Right. The deerlings disguise themselves in the grass as per usual. Oh, actually, have we made an account for East Province Area 2 yet? Or did I refrain from it? West Province Area 1, East Province Area 2! I did not. Oh, I did not actually do the encounter. Interesting. Maybe it's because of the options not being the most appealing. I don't know. There must have been a reason. Hey, we could maybe go for a Pokemon in the Terra, which is a Charcadet with Terra Rock. I'm going to grab my phone. I'm going to look at Charcadet's moveset. Apparently I didn't stop the music playing on my phone, that's on me, I've done that repeatedly apparently. Charcadet, we are playing Violet, which means it would become Celluredge. Does it learn any rock moves? Nope, it only gets Terra Blast. That kind of sucks in a way. That's the thing with the Terra typing stuff, is that if you've got a nice move you want to use on it, then cool. Otherwise, yep, nope, you can answer Celluredge. Well, let's not. Also, fire type Pokemon, so a bunch of fire moves. Oh, you can feel the slowdown when I use dash on Switch 1 still. Oh god. I really need to get my hands on the Switch 2. I can't though, I don't have the money. Also, I've kept checking Argos and it's just not been in stock, and I should check some other places, ideally, but I'm still tempted to go for the Tinkertink, just so I have something that can deal with dragons. A bit there in the event of a dragon type. I can't really know. Just having a fairy, at least a fairy, but then we've got Fido. In a way. Bronzor as well. I'm half tempted to go for a Bronzor, you know? Ah, we don't even need a Tinkertink. We can go for a Tinker. Oh. Assuming it's not going to hammer me while I grab a Grimlock. Can I reach up there yet? Nope, I haven't done the things right. Ooh, I should probably, maybe hide where the Tauruses can't reach, because, yeah. I don't want to be, like, looking up stuff and then Tauros murder. Because, let's think this through. What would a Bronzor / Bronzong give to me? This is the thought process we need to go through, so let's go to our Steel types. Right, so yeah, Bronzor, Steel Psychic typing. It's a very defensive Pokemon. It falls at level 33, and it has some lovely resistances to normal flying, poison, rock, steel, grass, psychic, ice, dragon, and fairy. But it has weaknesses to ground, ghost, fire, and dark. Quite a few common attacking types that entails. Sadly, fire is something we don't want to be weak to. But at the same time, we've seen a few Magmites around. We've also seen Tinkertink, and it's... I'm just going to menu just in case. Can't get attacked on the menu. Shame we can't get its hidden ability, because that would be Pickpocket. Oh, that's not Pickup. Damn it. That's different. But Molpen, Break All and Tempo, not too bad. Its stat line is not the best. And it's still fairy typing means it's only weak to ground and fire, dual immunities of poison and dragon, a lot of resistances. See, that's the thing. I think that's why they balance out Tinkerton that way. You know? Because stat line wise, it's not the best. We can actually skip a step if that Tinkerton's still around. If that Tinkertuff is around a bit. Otherwise we have a Tinkertink till 24. And then 38. So, yeah. It is still here. What level is it? Level 24 exact. That makes sense. That would be the level it would need to be to not... Well, actually, best option may then be Sandy as for fighting it. And I'll be careful on the moves we use. I've not got much else I really want to use them. Which means, yeah, I could notice dust for sure. The trouble is, I also don't want to use too many Pokemon that I've always used. You know? Whereas Bronzor, hardly ever used. So maybe we'll refrain from that again. I'm spitballing the ideas. This area is not really giving us much more options, and I really don't like the idea of fighting Tauros in any way, shape, or form. Hey, look, a Venom now. We could go for a Venomoth. We could go for a Venomoth and stuff. Feelings. Wookiees. We already got a Wookieee, so that would be Dupe's Claws. A Magical Leaf TM. That means we can put Magical Leaf on a Pokemon that can actually utilize it a bit better. There, we almost 1 and 2. The bit of sand over here would count as this province. We haven't seen a change in province name, so that's good. So Psyducks exist if we want another water type, Watchor if we want another flying type, or electric as well. Marils, which I would only want if we could get huge power. because otherwise Azumarilla's not the best. Oh, this is Ninja again. I don't want to triple, quadruple down on certain typing. We need something different type coverage wise, ideally. I would think. Out of Taurus of Teletypes. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Right, okay, yeah. The Ruins is really the only place where there's anything that's actually worth considering in my eyes. And that's either Bronzor or Tainted Tongue / Tainted Tongue. And then level them up to Tainted Tongue over time. Won't be though that useful against, say, the Fire King Starbase, but oh yeah, we've run away from the outside. Tainted Tongue is gone, but Tinkerting's still here. We could just throw a guy for that. Gonna heal it. I'm not here, you little tiny. We found the tiny child. Wah! And we're gonna trailblaze. Not very effective. Maybe I could use a better move. I should be using a better move. Maybe Bite will be better. Nope. But we can flinch it, so oh, that's a stab metal claw, that be. Right, Trailblaze is our best option then. Get to orange, and then we'll throw a great ball. Or we'll heal. Or we heal fast. Yep, we're healing fast. Okay. See, this is why I bought all those super potions. Or found them at the very least. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather not die. And I'm out of team. God damn it. Ooh, a rock smash. Trying to lower my defense. Ooh. The ghoul of the Tinkerting. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it's not far off from Tinker Tough anyway. Oh no. Based off of the moves it's using Confront, it's using Rock Smash, it's using Metal Claw. Is our Sand Castle thing gonna die horribly if we switch it in? Gonna be slow no matter what. It is not weak to any of those, and it's immune to the fighting type maneuver, so we'll switch in Sandygast. Sandygast evolves at level 42, so we're stuck with it for a while. I wouldn't mind it being Pilot Swan, but obviously I'm not going to. Oh, it has Draining Kiss. I mean, I can sand attack it. Yeah, you know what? Let's sand attack it a whole bunch. Guarantee that it can't hit me. Oh, even the one down. I'll throw a Great Ball, just see if it works, because, it might work, and then, hey, we didn't have to worry too much. I wasted the sand attack. There, I did, I wasted the sand attack. Okay, my methods have no meaning. I am an enigma. It knows no bounds, or something along those lines. But East Province area too, we get a little Tinkerting, we get a little child. Actually, you know what, that seems weird. I've just gone and kidnapped a child. Then that Tinker Tough may come back and be like, where's me child? Bonk. And I'll be dead. Adorable little children that makes hammers. Now, I may have used this name before in another playthrough of some caliber, whether it's on stream or off stream, I don't know. But I can only think of one thing, and that's a reference to Fire Emblem, not Three Houses, Engage with Lady Anna as the nickname. No, quite literally, just Lady Anna. Just when it falls into Tinkerton, it's just basically a hammer in Fire Emblem tends to be an axe weapon, even though it's a hammer. It's more a mace, really, if anything. But it counts as an axe for combat purposes when they're actually in the game. Anna wields an axe in Engage. She starts as an axe fighter, and she has proficiency in bows, so you can make her a warrior, which uses bows and axes. So, you know, I like the idea of this, you know, and the informalness of Ladiana. See, we can do the references. We can do the references, which is fun. I love doing references to games I enjoy. Like Fire and Engage, I enjoy that quite well. We have own tempo. We can't be affected by Intimidate. Huzzah! Also Confusion. Huzzah! And it is a careful one. Oh, it's being really careful when it makes its hammer. And it's proud of its prowess. Yeah. Which does mean special defense up. It's not too bad. We'll send it to a box for the moment, because I'm not too sure if it would be all that useful for any of the fights we've got coming up. Ideally, we now should head more to West Province Area 1 to try and go to the Bombardier. I'm just thinking, do we have the lineup necessary? Because this is going to be a little bit too high level for us. How many of these dark types are going to be Murkrows, aka flying, so my grounds don't do too much, and also how many of them are going to be, oh, and flying in that case, and also how many of them are going to be Pawniards, which means ground will actually be very useful. I have no idea on the matter, but nevertheless, West Province Area 1 is where we'll head to next. I am still considering Kitakami, but hey, the more we do before that, the better we'll do in terms of some of the early fights and whatnot on my own accord. Right. The map genie, so I can assess just how big the area is. West Province Area 1 is really big. It encompasses from the moment we start going uphill from Cortondo. It includes all of the Bombardier, the Team Starbase, and the Water Gym City. That's quite a bit, and it ends around about the cave entrance to be heading towards the Psychic Gem. That's a lot of area. And, oh, it's mass outbreak of Jigglypuff. Oh, that means there's a chance of shiny Jigglypuff. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. I refuse to farm out breaks at the moment, because in my head I'm just thinking I'm just gonna do it to train shiny hunt, which is, oh, I was thinking of getting that item. That Fanfi was right there. I'm not too sure I want that. Now, Mankey's our favourite at this point. Annihilate, my beloved. We could go for Annihilate. That Fanfi's getting bullied by a group of Mankeys. I think I shall just be doing the bystander effect and leaving before I get caught up in the trouble. Right, this is a case of trying to figure out a bunch of stuff now. I do want to see where trainers are, just in case I can actually take them on relatively well. I did go past a guy that actually has a level 14 fletching. You can get experience off that. Actually, you know what? Level 14. Yeah, we can buy a few training. Yeah, you know what? We could go back down there and fight that guy. Just a fletchling. Just load him with electric. So I can actually show off Wild Charge as well a little bit. Be like, see, this is why it's maybe not the best option ever. But, you know, it's there. Which is why I'm considering maybe not doing Bombardier right at this instant, when my best electric move hurts me. Do the Mass Effect 2 reference, Harbinger first. That's what I do now. Yes, but I don't want to do the Harbinger first. But yes, behold, what Wild Charge does. Should also deal damage to us even if we do faint a Pokemon? Yes, it does. Okay, we only took 9 damage, but that's the point. We're taking recoil. We actively hurt ourselves in the one where we ideally don't do that. I'm just saying, logically speaking, we should be careful. We could hunt ourselves a rock type, or a Pokemon that can learn rock moves. That would be maybe helpful. Charcadets are around here, they're fire types that we would have to... Oh, hard stone. The game's telling us something. Maybe we should pick up a rock type of some caliber. You know? humoring myself at the same time as hopefully humoring other people. That's the point of doing this on the internet, instead of just spending all my time not doing that and then having to really try and come up with better answers for why I've not managed to be a responsible member of society. Ooh, sunny day. It's not a bad maneuver if we happen to want to do the whole weather team idea. Or at the very least utilise sun. Weakens water. We could do that against thingy in the water gym. It's an option, right? It's an option. Side ducks, they're fucking everywhere. Side ducks are always all around us all. Nezzy and the student should have a fen on that. Interesting. Good fun. What gloves? Oh, so apparently a mass outbreak of wild weasel. Weasel. Yeah. Weasel. Oh, that just sounds like I'm trying to say Brazel. This is DJ Brazel. You're going down Garabone. Well, that's tricky. Shame my disc is probably scratched to no end. That one had actually smoke at the same time. I was worried I was actually carrying the tadpole. Don't give me a scare like that, Jim. What's in this? 99 is dark. 99 is dark. I mean, if it gets star poles, that'd be really useful. So yeah, like I say, we are moving through quite a lot of area. That is all. This is all area 1. All of this. If we were at night, we'd be finding the streams. Which, you know, Miss Magic is. You sure? I will take the hills. Realistically, there's a lot of ground types. I really should not be having Ballbone up front. But yeah, we made it to the Pokemon Center. There's a train not too far away. That's got Meowth. But yeah, we can head all the way down to before the cave. Like, once we go in there, that counts as area 6, and also much, much higher, because the Psychic Gym's meant to be done 7th. They expect you to go down the mountain and back up the mountain. I realise that that's what they wanted you to do. I wonder how many playthroughs there are online of people doing the Ice Gym, and being like, what the fuck, this is a lot harder, not realising it would be the final gym. Or at least intended to be. Why do they keep doing that with ice types? Making them be the last gym? Because by that point you've got so many ways to counter ice types, offensively wise, that it just ends up really wrecking. Especially when they do the whole physically defensive ice type with Avalugg being a key example. Anytime anyone uses an Avalugg, it's like, oh, you poor innocent bastards. My flamethrower murders you so easily. No matter what you thought you could do as a strategy, it doesn't matter. Whereas at least, you know, if it's like mid-game, you might not have necessarily all the answers, which means you can counteract, you know? You can actually think, maybe there's a way to do things. Or, you know, you could be actually more of a water gym, like the Toric gym. No, not Toric, Mahogany Town gym. So yeah, we can go all the way down here. The only use for doing that is if you're wanting to fight the trainers along the route. 5, that's useless. But yes, we can head into the cave at this time if we really wanted to, and immediately. And this is Alphanada Cavern. It does say South Province Area 6, and if we go near to say this, level 38. So yeah, ideally not so good. I actually do want to check. Does it count it as its own area? Because the desert counts. Oh no, they actually do put it as a thing. Huh. Where's South Province Area 6 then? North 3, South 86, yeah. South 86 is counted as its own separate thing. And then the tracker has the cavern. Huh. Interesting approach there, game, I will admit. We'll stick with the West Province Area 1 for the time being, however, just because I don't want to fight level 30 plus mob. I said I was on mobs. What buff exists? Only level 13. Ooh, we've actually gone down. Maybe Fido should be up front then. It's weird, the trainers are so much higher level. Like Gogo was just lying there, just gazing in the dirt. And then again, it's nice and sunny here in Paldea right now, so fair enough, I would do so too. Hot buff's an option, Gogo not an option, well Skiddo not as much an option, just because grass. But, you know, at the end of the day, if we do the Kitkari stuff, we get Ogerpon. Ogerpon's real cool and will be our either be our backup or return for Garo into our backup. But anyway, we've gone close enough where now the Bombardier dialogue plays because, yep. Bombardier uses a shit ton of rocks. Is not a rock type. It is flying dark. Huh. Dark type. Well, these littles that you can find in the areas are completely useless then, as their psychic typing screws them over. But then again, it makes sense. Flying dark, it purposely bombs people with rocks, so like, you know, dark type makes sense, and it's a huge fuck off bird. It has no choice but to be flying, you know? Anyway, this trainer knows what's up. Goomy is precious, it's an adorable slimy dragon, and if I could get a plushie of one, I would happily hug it all day long. Sadly, I don't have one, so I'll have to settle for the inferior Fuecoco. I say that knowing that I do love Fuecoco. Fuecoco is very precious to me. So, you know. Any excuse for me to hug my plushies on stream. Hooray! Anyway, we can just ignore Bombardier and head more around here. There's a bunch of these windmills, of behold them going up 0 frames a second. I love when a hardware failure occurs in a way. Hardware doesn't work as intended. Ooh, so blue. Yeah, but that's normal flying until it can become a dragon. Okay, let's get off our mount while we're doing that. See, the way I phrase things sometimes tells you just how long I've played MMOs. I feel like mobs, mounts, rep grind. Hey, Thunderstone. That sort of stuff. Like, at the end of the day, like, oh god, I remember. God, everyone remembers the first time they get a weapon in World of Warcraft up to Exalted. And just being proud of themselves, being like, yes, I did it. I've wasted weeks doing this singular task. Repeatedly, for days on end. Months may have gone past, but finally I can get a slightly better bag. Oh, in later expansions, finally I can get the rewards that should have maybe been honoured or revered. You know. Or, you know, at the very least, a mount that looks kinda cool. I love my purple space ram. Ooh, Tailwind. That's useful in double battles. I gotta say, I played a lot of World of Warcraft back when Legion was the current expansion, and I don't know, I loved it as an expansion. And why were you on the stairs? No! Flittle! I was thinking of maybe a rock type. I was thinking how far could we go before we would have to catch something. You fucking bastard! Well, our cancels the Flittle now, thank you game. I was not expecting one on the fucking stairs. I would buy it, but I don't want to kill it. I'll take having an extra Pokemon. Even if it's one I'm not the biggest fan of. Or hardly ever used with it. I don't think I've really used it. This is on Salmon Fish, really? No, whatever. Oh yeah, those doesn't resist fairy. I always feel like the type of Pokemon you are, you will resist. But that is not the case. Yeah, we catch it. Simple catch. Fair enough. Definitely not using on the team star base. Definitely not on the team star base. Dark Murder's Psychic. But we now have Flittle. It's the Frill. It's the Frill Pokemon. Oh, how lovely. And if we hop on over to, say, Datadex or Zerby.net or anything, or Bulbapedia, we can actually take a look at what it actually gets in terms of moves and when it levels up, because I have never used one before. It could have, ability-wise, Anticipation. That's useless. Or Frisk. That's also really useless. Like, really, really useless. These abilities are shit. What the fuck? It's also very low in stats outside of its speed. Ah, shit. But it does evolve a level 35. Alright, okay, no, that's into the mid-game. That's fair enough. Into Espafra. And moveset-wise, it gets Uproar, it gets Psybeam, it gets Pluck. Why does it get Pluck? But Espafra is the ostrich Pokemon, and sadly ours is male, so I can't really go for the Gaga reference. Ah, shit. What the fuck do I call it? I actually have no fucking clue. Hooray! I mean, having no bloody clue on this. Although, actually, if it does have Anticipation, it does turn it into Opportunist. So if an opponent's stat is boosted, the Pokemon seizes the opportunity to boost the same stat for itself. That is more useful. That is 100% more useful. But looking at its stat line, I'm like, why is this one on the champion team? Like, what? But it does get Lamina Crash, apparently, which is a super power, which is actually an 80 base power psychic maneuver. Still gets Uproar, but also now gets Dazzling Gleam at 43, Psychic at 49. Last Resort starts singing Papa Roach at us. Oh god. And a few decent TMs it can get. A lot more physical moves than I thought it would get, to be honest. It does get Calm Mind. Yeah. Psychic Twain as well. Brave Bird, if you really want a Brave Bird user in Espafra. You know what? No, I'm sold. I'm sold on it a little bit. We shall call it something. We shall call it something. I need to figure this shit out. What sort of name do you name this thing? I don't bloody know. Someone send help! Why? There's help coming through the doorway right now. It's the Invisible Man. Hello, Invisible Man. What are you doing coming over here? No, don't choke me. No. That's how much I don't know how to name it. No, I'm going mad. Wait, I was already mad. Then what do we call this? Advanced Madness. Or regular level of madness if you play Darkest Dungeon. Anyway. I honestly don't know what to call it. Oh shit. You know, since we have no fucking clue what to call it, let's call it something stupid. But what stupid name could we come up with? Or what sort of reference could we make? A Psychic Ostrich. Psychic Ostrich. I actually have no fucking clue. Crap. Okay. Let's call it Flannel. Yep. That's right. We're going to call it Flannel. Flannel the Frittle. It is a dumb name for a dumb, stupid Pokemon that's robbed me of a potential other Pokemon we could have probably wanted to have more. So I've selected the wrong thing. We're just going to the boxes. I was going to select the status bit so I could take a look, see what it has nature-wise. So that means we can't get any of the warp types now that we could have considered. That's quite a few. We also can't consider Mankey anymore for the time being. You are docile. Well, you better be bloody docile when I'm through with ya. That's annoying. Well, Nuzlocke Dose is annoyed. Let's hop on our bike and start making our way now to the team start base. Speaking of which, let's have that there. Yeah, this, because we utilize the ground aspect. But dark is actually good against ghosts, so maybe have Bigger up there for hitting stuff. And then we could also have it there for like... trying to actually consider my options. Maybe for Gato and we'll see how that goes, because we've not got any options left at the moment. And I also want to dive headfirst into the desert, which might not be the smartest of decisions. Oh, I ran over Fanfi, god damn it. Hello Fanfi, I'm sorry for running over you. Prepare to die. Oh yeah, arm thrust. Behold, the power of arm thrust. Who knew? The power of it being a ground type against my electric type. Because yeah, psychic creature ghost is dark and bug. Our sandcastle, well, our pile of sand, its ghost typing makes it weak to dark. So, you know, maybe it's best for not used. Now, here's the thing, we could go waltzing on past the team start. However, that level cap for, however, the highest level for the water team is that we have to face in Castle of our city is 30. I think we'll right, okay, so let us head to the Pokemon Center over here. Carry your coin! That trainer goes. Oh, Pokemon Furniture, give me go then. Oh, we've run over the Pokemon I don't see. Oh, it's a little child. It's a cupcake. Well, let's not harm too many children now, shall we? And I do think I am in needance of the toilet, so... Do we still have the text bit? I do, so do that. We'll heal the Pokemon and then... Well, it's... So yeah, they'll get healed and then I shall disappear for a minute. Oh, I messed up my door. I'm keeping it open so I don't die horribly from the humidity. So and a meme on Reddit while I was just gone for a brief moment. Like, oh, British VTubers that don't have a British accent half the time. Gotta be one of my favourite genders. And it's like, really? How often does that happen? And by British, do they mean a Londoner accent, aka an English accent, or do they mean British as in any form of British? Because that's the thing, when you say a British accent, the issue with that statement ends up being, do you mean the myriad of accents from the north? Scottish accents would count as British. Same with the Welsh accents. Same with Northern Irish, technically, to an extent, but I'm not too sure on the dichotomy of accent when it comes to the Isle of Ireland as a whole. So, you know, and even within England, do you mean Londoner? Do you mean Scouser? Do you mean something from the Midlands? Do you mean a Cornish accent from Cornwall? Somerset accent? Whatever accent people in Bristol have. You know, there's different accents, so it's like, are you sure about that? Obviously, that's me picking apart a person's meme more than anything else. You should just let them live their life. Pardon me. Anyways, we have made ourselves over to the Team Dark base. We can take a stab at it, I guess. See, a rock type wouldn't have been that bad in the sense of it would allow for us to handle Murkrows better. But we have got Pawmont for that anyway. Like, Pawmont handles pretty much most dark types quite well because of its fighting typing, and then the Murkrows, oh, electric type move. So, anyway, Trevelle proceeds to disguise themselves as Clive to try and be involved in the operation. We'll allow it to happen. Besides, he needs to be involved in a storyline, which actually, you know, that's kind of neat, you know. It's rare to see someone like, in a position like Trevelle, be active in the story, you know. You get that with, like, you don't get that as often as you'd think sometimes, you know. Something like, say, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Kukri. That's who I'm thinking of in Gen 7. You're regularly going in the same direction as him because you're going on because of the way that the adventure narrative goes. You're regularly interacting with Kukri, how Lily, Gladion makes appearances throughout. So, you know, it's nice to have like those constant appearances from certain characters, you know? Gen 8 you had that with various Leon appearances and Sonya showing up throughout the plot. So it does happen. Arven's kind of just really just goes down to it just being Arven. And like the occasional phone call from the Professor after you get the Herb and Mysticas. And then with the gym stuff, it's like you get to meet the Elite Four members throughout, other than Larry, who's busy doing the normal gym stuff, so, you know. And obviously Nimona showing up continuously. So yeah, we can do two things now. We can either A, go into the Team Star base, which will get the wall removed, or B, utilise the power of our bike and try and go around. There's two ways. Either you get the ability to jump higher, which we currently don't have, that requires us fighting Orphan, or hopping into the desert. And also getting attacked from behind by a swing. But, potentially. So, yeah. Those are our options, really. And I'm looking at my options right now. I'm not favourable for the dark type stuff. See, the thing is, if we go on to the tracker, Geo Como, he has himself level 21 Pawniard, level 20 Weather Room. We actually are under-leveled. On Fevers, but you fucking Frettle. Wait, hang on, I've just sent out Pawmont against it. I am making a mistake. Let's use Dig. And Swablu gets the watch. No, never mind, it's Wonder Way. Bye, Swablu. Hey, Miss Swablu. Oh yeah, shit, Levitate. This one has Levitate. Fuck. I keep making mistakes. It's what I do the best. We can switch to Florigato to not have confusion. Ideally, we need my Pokemon to be about level 20-ish. Now, here's the thing. We see weather wounds on the tracker, but it's actually standard builds. They do operate differently. So we do have to keep that in mind. But yeah, we have Dark type moves. Just bites the ghost somehow. I don't know how we achieved that. You'd think a physical action would just completely phase through. Nope. Yeah, level 20 on Pawmot. That's actually not too bad. Maybe that will be fine. Let's head back to the Pokemon Center, just heal up, make sure our team is fully healed, and then we could take a stab at it. Like, we can take a stab at the objective of clearing the Team Star base, because that's what we have to do. We have to actively do that. There may also be fights beforehand. I really want to have an electric move that isn't Wild Charge. That's physical. Can I teach anything right now? I'll do that. From TM machine, or have I not got anything? Thunderfang can learn. Would be less power, but it would also not have recoil. I would just need another Shinx Fang, which means I'd have to go kill Shinx. Ah, shit. I guess we could go do that. Guarantee ourselves that, and low kick as well, but that's a fighting move. Which we could do, but heavier target is fine in there, so, do we have anything else TM-wise? Can't really Toxic Spikes, Tailwind, helping Handgrass. Okay, yeah, we don't have anything else. So if we want, say, a non-recoiling electric move, we may want to dabble with some sheets. Now the funny thing is, the first Pokemon we'd be fighting would be Pawniard. A good, strong ground type would be useful there. I think this is the issue. All of our objectives at the moment, they're 20 plus. We're trying to use Pokemon that are either just around 20 or lower. So that is an issue. I think what we should do therefore, instead of trying to agonize over how we're going to do things, let's just go to the academy and go to Care Academy. Where we won't be using the tracker, we'll be using the power of Celebi for this one to be able to see what we're doing, and yeah, we're going to have to deal with a Dark type maneuver, but a Dark type, a Fire type, and a Grass Ghost. Actually, we easily deal with that. Pawmot actually is real useful for that. We might switch what we're having up front for the purposes of taking on the Pokemon at hand in the earlier areas because they'll be low level, but we can find some stuff. We can find maybe some things that would be more useful overall wise, and that's important. I'm more thinking of that than anything else. Hello, Blair. We are Nuzlocke Dose. The original Nuzlocke died on your hands. Also, since it's night, we get to see Noibats in the lobby. How lovely. Oh, and a Gengar. Just a Gengar by the lobby. That just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. Jock wishes he could go. Please ignore the fact that he does go there and gives us a Sinnoh egg. Huh, that's weird. This isn't... Celebi doesn't point out, like, anything to do with the, Milotic you fight in the Crystal Pool. That's weird. I'd point that out. That could actually be quite terrifying, actually. A random Milotic fight. Ah. Then again, there's plenty of ways to actually deal with it, I guess. Right. Then... tons of paperwork. Hurrah! Being discussed. So yes, we do get a update to our Pokédex with all the Pokemon that are in the Kitakami areas. Now, Kitakami does have its naming conventions be done a bit differently, but we can select the Kitakami region map. There's not as much in terms of some things, but there is plenty in other things. Like there's the Kitakami Road, which is where we start. There's the town itself. I don't think you can count everything there. Apple Hills, Loyalty Plaza. Apple Hills, you say? Oh, where did we get Applin? Then there's the area. Then there's that area there, which doesn't have a name apparently. Which that's one that certainly should do. Oh yeah, Weatherless Road. Weatherless Road, the Mossville Conference, if we can get across the water, so maybe we'll have to fight Bombardier first. Cool, my phone's thinking I'm got two hands on there. Foghorn Gorge, which we can't get to. Kitakami Hall. Wistful Fields, Paradise Bowens, there's all of the Only Mountain stuff. So, you know, there are more encounters we can have. We can take a look and see what we can get. We'll actively make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, is the point as well. But hooray! Bus rides, plane trips, plenty of times for us to get visions of everyone dying horribly. Seriously, can I please stop seeing clips of Final Destination? Please, TikTok, please stop giving me clips of Final Destination. I've seen the films, well, besides the new one, but still, apparently I know of it. We haven't really. The Violet Book stuff kind of is more, or Scarlet Book is kind of more important to think of if you've actually done the Titan stuff. So really going straight to it, it's just like, But yes, Terrapagos, which is very, very post-game. But, obviously, does the dialogue change if you've got access to areas here? Like, oh yeah, I've been in there. Behold, my Paradox Pokemon. Because the thing with Only Mountain is that how much of it is just one area, you know? Because there's not as many areas as you might think. And obviously with Blueberry, we aren't going to really count that because we're not going to go into Blueberry anytime soon. We have to actually A, do the Kitakami stuff, and B, it's very post-game. Just because of the high levels and the fact every battle in that area is double battle, means that unless we've got like a myriad of quick balls and most of the gym badges, we're not going to be catching anything there. So, you know, fun, fun, fun. I'm sure they would make it the wild battles double battles as well if they could, but somewhere in the middle of nowhere, the Kitakami region, which is more the land of Kitakami, which ends up having things that are similar to Hisui in some ways, seeing as this is where the Ursaluna thing occurs. So one could argue that some parts of Agent Hisui became Sinnoh, and then like Kitakami's like part of it, but who knows? Not too far away from that, I guess, but who knows? I don't really care too much. But anyways, of course, the youngest of the group gets motion sick, hooray, or travel sick as they refer to it, which, it's motion sickness at the end of the day. I get it. As the game forces us not ride Miraidon, boo! But also, now we've got more counters we can get, like the Bug Grass Solano, or the Pure Dark Poochyena. Yay! Poochyena is a good boy. Well, actually he's an evil boy because Dark type, but still. Yamas, it does get Agent Power in this gen. So Yamega is doable. Spinarak if you really want a Spinarak, I guess. Beautify for Bug Fairy shenanigans. That was actually quite fast. I wide and wide on here. Nope, we can't wide and wide on until we actually get into Mosul Town. And I believe they make it. Oh, helpful. That can be useful. And I believe they make it so the river's large enough so on foot we can't. Nope. Bad community center. So if there was a Pokemon there that we really wanted to maybe encounter, we can't. Darn. Okay, we'll examine once we level 20. We should be able to right our wrongs from last time. Arm Thrust ain't the best skill we've got ever, but it will do against the Poochyena. Or at least it should do. We may be ending on 3 parts if I'm not careful. No, I will not die early to Carmine this time. We've come here at a bit of a better level range. And I've got like so many Pokemon that are ground or water that and then would be ground later, that it's like half my team can deal with the Vulpix easily. Hell, I could keep Pawnmon up front and it can use Dig. You're one of those students. And precious baby boy Kieran. And oh yeah, Carmine too. Do we care about Carmine? Yeah, we probably do care. Ah, you know I care. I like these two. But still, it is. Yeah. Certainly, first impressions are not the best, as Carmine immediately insults us and forces us into a Pokemon battle, which, you know, thankfully, this is early game comparatively to, say, post game, where it's like, okay, like, yeah, sure, we'll just throw out, like, a real strong Pokemon and it's like, won't accidentally destroy part of the town. Whereas at this Pokemon, it's like, we're not going to murder the town, we'll just murder a Pokemon. The ability to be eating dirt will that occur? I say nay. I aren't fussy. This is how you beat Carmine. You over level. You specifically make sure you've got at least a Pokemon that can deal with hers very well. Her entire team is weak to the types of moves I've got on my Pawnmon. We do not need to switch. Huzzah! Well, we may still. Who knows, actually. Also, now our precious red dog can get pretty rough. Excellent attack. We'll take it over tail. Besides, we have bags of stabilize still, so you know, priority stat moderation. We can switch, we'll stay. We can always back up, no doubt. Besides, the power of digging a hole. See, we're going to destroy the town anyway. If we've dug a hole, I'm going to have to go and repair that now. Try disabling me, you bitch. But then again, I'm saying that to a Vulpix. I'm so mean. No, I'm being mean. Vulpix is adorable that I've just nerded one. No. No. Ah, Poltergeist, you bitch. Your hospitality does nothing, as you enter last and it's going to double battle. But I have this power called Bite. You just bite on the matcha. Nom, nom. Just like I bite on this cup. One broken teeth later. On that idea. Obviously we don't do that. That would be stupid. But behold! We've made better progress than in the previous attempt! When it comes to Kitakami, hooray! I'm not a moron! Actually, you probably could still call me a moron for many a year to come. But regardless, obviously the noise complaints occur, and our troublemakers decide to flee, the bastards. Yeah, they were giving grief. In a different time. But hey, thankfully the power of the TARDIS later and we're back with a much better team. I gotta say, I've actually used the Thunder Junction precon Magitek now, And I love it. I love just having so many treasure counters. I have to use dice. I don't have enough treasure tokens. And that's a sign that it's lovely. I love the fact that I can do that whole generation of tokens so quickly. It's kind of nice. Anyways, obviously the quest objective is to go to the community center and a dusty old decoration. It would be a real shame if it suddenly became a Pokemon in the post game or something, you know. But anyway, this is our general store. We can buy Great Balls. Can't buy Quick Balls yet. We can buy more ingredients for picnics, which we haven't actually done any of. If we try to sell items here, we obviously, yeah, okay, we can still sell. It's just we can't use LP. They have no idea what LP is. I'm going to sell my refines. We don't have a use for them, so might as well make some money out of it. And if you want clothing from the general store, they do actually have some. Some socks that are knitted and just knitted, yeah. Knitted socks and knitted gloves. How lovely. I'm not going to buy any of them at the moment. But we can now leave the town for the moment. We don't have to carry on the story just yet. This is where we see proof that that's not the case. Hey, what is the case? Traveler's Road is an area we can go to. Jock is not here. Hello, Lotad. We could use a water sting on Lotad. But yeah. So we have everything that's available in Traveler's Road now, and some of the other areas that we can just go to. We can also get the sentry that can tear into steel and Apoms. We can also head back onto the previous route, I guess, but yeah, see, this is a river that's definitely deep enough where I don't think we can actively get across. So I think the Mosslow's Confluence is not an area we can really get into. If you really want to fight Heracross, you can, which is neat, I guess. Do be careful. As per usual, do be careful with the running around, as it were. Sea dots are available as well. That's at least an evolution. We can hop down onto the gravel here. Oh, nice here. It's always nice to get maneuvers, little items that are useful. I want the item. Yama, I want the item. Yama, I want. Thank you, Yama. Yama, thankfully, is scared of me, or my Miraidon. So, thankfully, I don't need to fight it. We can take a look around and see what the people see. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about half the time these days. And over here is a ghost tower den. Ooh, of a Spinarak. We can find Spinaraks normally, actually. Now the question is Spinarak something we want? Probably not. It's a very low stated bug type. Oh yeah, we've got to go Till Mask. This is my first instance going into the Till Mask for this. Get Swarm or Insomnia or Hidden Ability Sniper. That's the hidden ability. With weaknesses to Flying, Rock, Fire and Psychic, but resistances to Poison, Fighting, Bug, Grass and Fairy. Not too bad. And moveset wise, it does get things like Shadow Sneak. Stab Shadow Sneak can occur with the Tower Ghost typing. It also gets Sucker Punch, it gets Pin Missile, it gets Psychic randomly, Cross Poison randomly, Toxic Thread, which only it learns, signature move that can lower speed. Why is it so late? So it actually doesn't get too bad of moves actually. Sadly it's on Spinarak and Ariados itself, slow, no bulk, best it's got is the 90 attack. Actually not that worthwhile. I'm thinking this area hasn't got much that I really want. So, like, really, like, what we need. Ah, actually, no, we can technically get some Mossfell Confluence encounter. Because this counts as being part of that area. Ooh, we just got the Boy Slam TM. Ooh, good normal type maneuver. Ooh. Loopers, Corpfish, Magikarp, Starleaf. Count one that's not in the air. Poliwags, if you really want Poliwrath. Well, can't get Polytoad. Poliwrath we can. So we just level it up, get it to Poliwrath, and then evolve it. That's another fighting type. which actually probably wouldn't be a bad idea. The dark one is very still when it comes to its overall final fight, but that doesn't help us on the other side. I think we shouldn't look too hard into it. Hey look! Random chime echo. We don't have to go for changeling. For chingling. Even. I gotta say, this road bit really doesn't have much. Like, realistically, the best story I can think of is Rooper. My game is slowly crashing on me. What the fuck? Cause, I mean, Poochyana's, I mean, best it can do is probably have access to, like, buy or something. Fun fact, we can actually make our way here. It's not unusual for folks to get card sick from it, yeah. So, you know. So, ultimately, maybe Yama? Maybe Cutie Fly? Fairy's lovely? Well, then again, don't want to do that against Still and Poison. Ooh, Bulldoze. That's actually a decent ground type move. You don't have Dig. Honestly, our encounter for this area is troubling. You know what? Yama may be the... Oh, hello, fish. Yama may be the best option. Because it can get Agent Power and then become a Yarn Mega. So if I swap to a Pokemon that's lower level, like Diglett, and we encounter Yama without causing it to flee in the opposite direction and without encountering Roopers, because they are fucking everywhere they are. And I love Quagsire, don't get me wrong. I love me a Quagsire, but I think Yama might be our best option. So, where's all our objectives? We've done everything up to Blashes, so if I add here. This area is referred to as Kitakami Road. Kitakami Road. And we've encountered a Yama. And we've done it in such a way that Diglett has to be on a thing. Alright, this is the best we can do with the Scratch, and it's double teamed. Because it's flying, so we can't actually hit it with any ground moves. And it has speed boost! Hooray! That means it's gonna be faster. And that means it's gonna start hitting us harder. Shit. Because speed boost means it's gonna be going first. We'll throw Great Ball. It's only level 11. Most Pokemon at this level, they once weakened a bit. Oh god, something kills the frames. Something really kills the frames. I'm gonna have to switch out because it's gonna slowly murder me, Diglett, and I can't do much else. Actually, it's only using Dig. No, it's only using Tackle. We could swap into Sandycast. We want to tag with it, we'll just throw balls. Something here eats the frames. Switch 2 better be a fucking improvement. Because good lord. Yep, has Tackle and Quick Attack. But we can get Agent Power on it. Eventually. Or it can just break free immediately on all the balls because we didn't hit it hard enough with our Diglett. Shit. Can't hit it much more. Its speed is just... and it's gotten so much more evasion. Do you have anything that would mark me nice? Let's use an Asple. See how I like this. It's level 11, so it should have higher chances than it was. We did it! We caught ourselves a Yama! You know, I haven't actually been thinking what to call it. But with the power of Yama, quite frankly, this may not be my smartest decision in the world, bug flying, but it has speed boost over compound eyes. I happily will take that. It does get agent power at 33. Okay, that's not as good. I kind of would have wanted it sooner, but female armor. Okay, let's call it Nadia. Let's call it Nadia. That's the name that comes to my head when I think of a Yama. So only has double team crew attack and tackle at the moment. Huh. And it's brave, so it loses out on speed. Ugh. But that's fine, you know? We can put it in the party for the time being. Honestly, in terms of what we've got here, Sandy Gas is off the level we want it to be at the moment. We'll happily just have that taken off the pie for the moment, just to... So yeah, that's a Pokemon. We've caught one. We head to the Pokemon Center immediately. So yes, it would appear that a few of our options are the way they are. I do like that there is a difference in how the Pokemon Center lady looks in Kitakami comparatively to Paldea. And then they just don't bother with the terrarium. It's just self-use stuff. Oh, wait, I've just hit the thing for the cutscene. Okay. Well, you know what? Sure, why not? We can consider the other areas. So, I want to add, at the very least, add Reveler's Road. To the mix, and then also add the apple bit, which is called just straight up Apple Hills. Those two areas we'll definitely add and see what we can do counter-wise. Since we're going through these cutscenes, that means, do we have to fight Kieran at this second, or... looks like we will do have to fight Essentia and a Yama. Lovely. So, yeah. Sandy Gas would have been a bad shout for that, but eh. Sadly, we are now caught in the Kitakami cutscenes. Dialogue. Chingling assortment of decoration. That's kind of neat, as per usual. Behold, a television screen. Of literally just like 5 seconds down the road. Huh. It'd be like if I had a television screen behind me at all times, just showing footage of the Audi down the road that I can literally get to in 5 seconds. Well, not literal 5 seconds, but you know, and even then, I'm putting my thumb that way, that's the one way, the Audi's that way. Certainly a thing. So obviously my realistic Pokemon team would involve a Pokemon you probably would find in Poland, as that's a country I've legit been to. I think there was even a video of that, once upon a time, up on the channel. I don't remember if it's just on the list or not. There's a few of those. So we can get some West in the back, and I'm just going to cheekily switch Bulmont up front. Bulmont is actually going to be one of my best Pokemon, just because it's got 2 typings that I do like to have, and it's actually not too bad power-wise because it's fully evolved. We've cheated the system a little bit, but yeah, sadly we now have more cutscenes, a Pokemon battle, more cutscene, and but anyways, now Carmine and Kieran are actually introducing themselves instead of, you know, Carmine forcing us into battle. But how lucky that Blueberry happened to send the natives. That happened to be siblings. The self-guided tour of Kitakami includes going to some signboards and reading them and going, ah, that's the ancient legends that they talk about. Anything else we're doing? No? Alright then. That's literally all it is. Oh, and there just so happens to be a festival at this time. We also do get the Boho stick, which helps us take selfies a lot better. Supposedly. But we do get the Eureka emote, which is supposedly rad. Not too sure on that one. Blair has certainly unique coloured eyes, I must admit. I don't like how people stare at me. Yeah. But we are now... Okay, we are now able to not do much else, but hey, we can talk to them. And by that we mean talk to Carmine. It's weird. Theoretically speaking, there should have been 4 Blueberry, 4 Uva/Naraja. Just so that it would be an equal pairing, so it could be truly a mixed match of pairs, instead of it being like, well, okay, Kieran pairs with one of them, Carmine pairs with the other, 2 of you fuckers from Paldea now gonna need to go about your own, do it yourselves with no native help, or local help, or Blueberry help. So, you know, a bit weird. I do like how this. I do love seeing while we're talking to them. The full picture start on a bench. It's like, you know, full pics on a bench. How much that full pics in the window? The one with the galleon fur. I don't know what words I was gonna say otherwise. Those are the words that came out of my mouth. Anyways, priority move. Centric! You know what Centric mean? Throw it though is, you know, in terms of the sign, throw it. Nice sign. Nice shiny as well. Nice bit of pink. Oh gee, I wonder why I like it. Do that to myself. Kieran's team actually does improve itself over the course of the DLC. Starts off with just a Centric in the armor. We easily take care of it quite well actually. But then it adds a Poliwag. This Poliwag in the future becomes a pain in our ass. Oh, I don't want to tell lies, we don't need to. Well, Charge will do the trick. And then obviously with all the Carmine fights, it evolves into Poliwag, the Centric evolves into Flowet, Yarma remains Yarma because it hasn't got an age of power yet. And then he adds Dipplin. He doesn't even use Applin, he just evolves, he gets an Applin and evolves immediately into Dipplin. Just to, you know, get access to Syrup Bomb, Dragon Breath, the ability of Super Seed Syrup. Let's face it, Dipplin, not too bad of an option. And it can evolve more in the Terrarium stuff. Then the fight then adds a Gligar and a Camelwant to the team. Gets rid of this Velvet. Yama's still Yama. Poliwell is definitely proving to be an issue. And if you were fighting this post game, it's Poliwrath and Yanmega. Still Gligar, thankfully. Then you got all the Titan fights. Then after that, it's the dreaded Den fight before the Ogerpon fight. And like the team is actually really weak to fire. Like no joke. Fire murders his team. Shiftry, Yanmega, Dipplin, Probopass, Poliwrath with Ice Punch, Brick Break, Liquidation, and Bloody Belly Drum. That's the maxed out attack and has coverage in Ice Punch, so you can't just use a grass type on it. Boo! And Gliscor with Hyper Cutter. Obviously, if you're doing this post-game wise, you get Yark Berry Gliscor, so no ice type murdering. Boo. But then you just fight Ogerpon, and that's not too bad actually. Obviously, there's all the fights with Carmine as well, which, you know, she uses a much weaker team actually overall-wise, because it's like it turns Poochyena into Mightyena, has more Pekko, which becomes more of a Pokemon that she gets to associate with. Navani, Ninetales, Sinistra. So, you know, it's not honestly, Kieran's team is stronger in a sense, but I think that's just because he's actively trying to make the team stronger and stronger. Whereas Carmine obviously likes the idea of battling and whatnot, but hasn't got the motive to get stronger, you know? Anyways, we pair up with Kieran, and I relate to Kieran's behaviour being relatively introverted at times. But anyways, exploration! Kieran suggests Loyalty Plaza. We'll see if we can encounter something now, I guess. But we'll also go and encounter in Apple Hills. Maybe an Applin. Maybe an Applin. I'm just saying it's highly likely it'll be an Applin or some other grass type. We do get a phone call of Cavell because at this point we do actually get dialogue. We get, because the game actually tells us about Blueberry, but let's face it, we're not doing that. Not yet. No. No, 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 no. Also, we really can't do much of it before having done Kill Kami. Like, the actual stop point is Carmine, so it's like, really just, it makes no sense for you to do it until after you've done the Kill Kami stuff, even if the levels were scaled down. Also going this way, we can find Perrin, who has an Hisuian Growlithe. Look at the precious boy. Look at Growlithe. Look at it. It's so cute. Why can't we just find Hisui Pokemon easily? Boo. Also, we can't really do much with Perrin anyway till we've basically caught all the Pokemon in Kitakami, which obviously we can't do on a Nuzlocke without, you know, just, I don't know, transferring through Pokemon Home all the Pokemon and then putting them back into, like, the box and whatnot. Ooh, I almost ran into a Pichu. That'd be funny. We're probably catching a grass type once into a Pichu. Would be entertaining, but thankfully we're smart enough. But behold, Apple. Apples. Fomantis. Fomantis probably likes eating apple. And of course, a tearaway den of a Duskull. If we really wanted the Duskull instead, you know, being tower poisoned. But we can also find ourselves, we can also find ourselves the apples somewhere around here. Oh, and Ekans, they probably like the apples too. Ah, sweet apple. It's exceptionally sweet. Behold, an Applin that can Terra type. Scary, ain't it? My team's not really suited to fighting a grass dragon, but that's the only thing. Oh yeah, we swapped out, I forgot to, on the tracker, swap out Sandy Gas for the, Myanmar. So we could probably switch into something a little bit better, maybe, but we'll consider our options. We'll consider our options, for sure. I think this one Terra's into bug. Memory serves. Does it find Swaddle still? Oh, Swaddle, you're running in my direction. That was not the right decision. Nah, no, it was a potion. Of course it was. I don't want to get all the different apple types. Well, we could purposely go for Diplin, obviously, but at the same time, we don't have access to Hydro Apple because we do actually have to specifically go to Blueberry and specifically beat Drayton to get Dragon Cheer. So, you know, not really what we want to do. Or, you know, I could just transfer Hydro Apple going on a different file and be like, yeah, this counts. This is our only way of having it. So, tell it's gone into the afternoon now, I think, because I'm starting to get warm even when we're not. Oh, there's plenty of Spinax around right now. Another sweet apple. I want an apple as well, just enough chance. Let's go for Mantis, I guess. And so, yeah, I'm discussing all these grass types. Should probably have a Pokemon that ain't gonna die to grass. More importantly, where the fuck are the Applins? I'm actually curiously not finding Applins. They should be in the trees. Or next to the trees even. pretending to be an apple or have slithered into one of the apples. I'm gonna probably run into an Ekans before. Ah, it's our apple. We can evolve an applin into either of them now. There we go, there's an applin. We found an applin in the tree. It was weird. And Bellsprout in the middle. It's a female applin. We're doing a lot of female Pokemon. That's how much damage we do. How much damage does we do with Not much. So we're in for a long haul. Apple Hills being an applin, that just makes sense. Whether we use it or not, I don't know. We'll try and make sure to, you know, actively not be an idiot. Like, if we use it, it's because we're gonna go into, like, the water gym. That makes sense. I think we're definitely gonna get into these, like, quiz as defined affairs, just out of, a lot of Pokemon deciding to be. Okay, it's lowered now. I like the fact that we've got speed boost. That's really nice. I'm saving the quick ball for either shiny or Pokemon that I think will be hard for us to lower the health down. Like, knowingly it's going to be harder, kind of affair. But yes, an applin. We call ourselves an applin. Lovely stuff. Apparently the Pokemon itself really hates not being in an apple. So, yeah. I think we'll call it Wormy, because it's a worm. You see, the dragon part is the worm itself. So it's a dragon worm. We'll call it Wormy. Wormy. It's like Burmy, except it's a worm. And R1 is speed up, defense down with Gluttony. Yeah, so that means it's hasty. Let's not be too hasty here, ladies and gentlemen. Has a sturdy body. Now, obviously, if we were to evolve this applin into its different forms, we need to actively go onto data text to double check that one. I need to change it so I'm actually looking at grass or dragon. Applin evolves in 3 different ways. We use a tart apple to become Flapple. It goes into the air. We could use a sweet apple and make it Appleton. Appleton, sadly, because I think because we've got Gluttony, we don't get Wipen at all. That's a shame. Appleton's definitely got more special attack and some defensive stuff, I guess. Has options. Flapple is definitely more offensive speaking, but and also a bit faster. And then there's Dipplin, which obviously quite nice physical defense, but obviously isn't at its strongest because, well, don't have access to Hydro Apple. Sad, it's a shame we've got Gluttony, but oh well. Otherwise the option would be Wipen, which Wipen's berries and doubles their effects, so eh. I like the idea of having an apple pie. We just need a sweet apple. You know? So we could add it to the party for a moment and evolve it, or we could just send it to a box. We can check to see if I've got the apple. We can double check on if we've got the 2 apples, so we can then decide. It will be in this. Yeah, we've got them both. Sweet apple for Appleton, tart apple for Flapple. You think it'd be the other way around, but yeah, no, that's neat. And Yama did its job being up front. Hooray! So yeah, I say for the time being, it's getting really warm in here and I want my lunch in a bit. So I say what we'll do is we'll heal. I say this is a great place to just stop for a moment. We can carry on with either the Kate Kami storyline or, well, that's the door for that matter. delivery, not for me, for someone else, but that's neither here nor there, because I was expecting it to occur today at some point. So yeah, right. I think the plan of action shall be to end the stream now, especially since like, delivery arrives, so I'm probably going to have to deal with that. So anyway, yeah, if you enjoy what you see, you can always subscribe, and if you want to check out some of the other stuff we've got going on, then you can as well. Until next time, I'll see you all.